This essay is best heard in headphones. Visuals mark key ideas. Picture the moment when you sit back from a project. Canvas, screenplay, startup roadmap, and feel that itch. One more stroke, one more tweak, one more line. Art is never finished, only abandoned. 5 centuries ago, Leonardo da Vinci warned us with those words. But was he blessing our work with limitless possibility or cursing us with eternal dissatisfaction? Let's unpack it. Leonardo's resume was less a neatly bound portfolio and more a disorganized galaxy. Engineer, anatomist, painter, stage designer. Each role pulled him sideways. His notebooks, 7,000 surviving pages, ooze half equations, mirror-written grocery lists, dissections, doodles. If a modern recruiter saw that record, they might accuse him of chronic scope creep. Yet from that chaos emerged the Mona Lisa, the Last Supper, and machines humanity wouldn't prototype for 300 years. Leonardo began painting the Mona Lisa in 1503. He tinkered with it for at least 16 years, hauling the panel across cities like a security blanket. Even on his deathbed in France, he kept glazing microscopic veils of color across those famously unreadable lips. The work was never delivered to the patron who commissioned it. Leonardo didn't finish the Mona Lisa. He merely stopped breathing before he could change her again. Scholars count at least 12 Leonardo paintings left half-realized. Unlike his contemporaries, he rarely signed or dated pieces. The concept of complete felt foreign. To him, each canvas was a living organism. Apply another glaze, reposition a thumb, darken a shadow. Its personality mutates. Freeze the process too early, and you've sentenced the work to premature death. Fast forward to us, thumbs scrolling, beat matching, A/B testing. The medium's changed. The emotional circuitry has not. We wrestle the same hydra. Perfection versus shipping. Pablo Picasso produced over 5,000 works, famously saying, "To finish a work? What nonsense. To finish it means being through with it, to kill it, to rid it of its soul." Swap parchment for pixels, and you're in today's product sprint. Psychology offers a clue, the Zeigarnik effect. Our brains remember unfinished tasks more vividly than completed ones, as if the mind holds open files in RAM. Leonardo lived perpetually in that cognitive suspense, letting tension fertilize creativity. But there's a cost. Mental bandwidth, and yes, delivery deadlines. Pixar's motto, "Story is king," hides a darker subclause. And story is never done. Brad Bird rewrote The Incredibles until 30 seconds before print. Into the Spider-Verse rendered whole sequences twice because the texture of Miles' sneaker laces felt off. Hollywood solves infinity by erecting immovable objects, a theatrical release date. When the calendar turns red, the art gets abandoned to multiplexes. So how do we know when to walk away? The screenwriter Aaron Sorkin uses a repeat out loud test. If a line sings 3 mornings in a row, he locks it. Illustrator Lisa Congdon finishes when the piece communicates its core idea without me having to babysit it. Pick criteria, write them down, and when the project matches them, set down the brush before you add noise. Remember, history seldom showcases version 1.0. The iPhone launched without copy-paste. Wikipedia's first homepage was a single sentence. Dali's earliest oils looked timid beside his melting clocks. Innovation requires public imperfection. Each release recruits feedback that private polishing can't simulate. There's also the stamina trap. Endlessly finessing details can feel like progress, while hiding fatigue. Leonardo's biographer Vasari wrote that he sometimes sketched entire compositions with a smile, then grew disgusted at the thought of executing them. Translate: perfectionism is procrastination in fancy clothes. The sweet spot lives where craft meets contribution. Polish enough to respect your audience, release soon enough to join the conversation. In software, they call it minimum lovable product. Not merely viable, but worthy of affection, even if it's missing garnish. The irony? Abandonment can immortalize. Michelangelo's half-liberated slaves, his prisoners, tell a more visceral story precisely because chisel marks freeze mid-gesture. Orson Welles left dozens of film reels in limbo. The fragments feel like coded messages from the future. Imperfection invites the viewer to co-complete the artwork in the theater of their own mind. So yes, art is never finished. But abandon needn't imply betrayal. It can mean release, giving the work a passport to travel further than its maker. Leonardo's phrase is less a lament than a permission slip. Perfection isn't a asymptote. Progress is a staircase. Ship, learn, iterate, repeat. If this essay nudged you closer to the edge of release, let us know. Drop a comment on what project you'll liberate this week, and hit subscribe for more creative oxygen. Until next time, abandon wisely.